Democrats within the state of New York and the city of New York profess that they will support one another. In the meantime, right behind their backs, openly, publicly, brazenly, and boldly, they spit in that person's face and they look to take him out. Let's look at Nancy. Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, King Cuomo II, the son of Mario Faccia Bruta Cuomo, King Cuomo I, who has hunkered down at the estate of his brother Chris Fredo Cuomo, along with his wartime consigliere, Joe Picoco, just having been released from federal prison, doing a 6-year rap for corruption on behalf of the Cuomo crime family. He's stirring the marinara sauce. He's hit the mattresses. And he went out and he said publicly, I would never run against Eric Adams if he remains mayor or if he runs for re-election. Did he say that over and over again, Nancy?
Yes.
And all he's been doing is backstabbing the guy every step of the way, calling up union leaders, calling up business leaders, saying, I'm running. Special election, general election. Hampton Andrew Cuomo is running, even though he's not registered to vote in New York City. He doesn't live in New York City. He's registered to vote in Westchester, and naturally he resides in the Hamptons. But he's been backstabbing Eric Adams every step of the way. And now, because a Marist poll came out that was devastating to Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, saying that 70% of voters want him to resign. If you don't resign, they want Governor Holcomb to fire him. And a full 81% of that Marist poll said, and don't you dare think of running for re-election. That's devastating. But the second part of that poll did not receive the information that it should have because it was embarrassing to Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo. It said that a full 55% of the voters have said no to Cuomo running for mayor. They've said, stay out in the Hamptons, stay out in New York City. We don't need you nor want you as mayor. And that has triggered off a tsunami of others who have been going at him because they don't want to see him as mayor, including, can you give us an update that apparently Attorney General Tish James herself, his nemesis, is now actively making those same calls because she wants to be the Democratic candidate to become the next mayor of the city of New York.
She is making those calls because, I thought that she was concerned right now about her investigation. We're not talking about that part.
No. But she is calling union leaders. She is calling business leaders, everyone that Andrew Cuomo had called first.
And do they say that they've spoken to Andrew Cuomo?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
Yeah, they say they've spoken to Andrew Cuomo. They say, I haven't given my commitment to Andrew because I would consider you a much better candidate. You don't have baggage of sexual harassment. You don't have the 15,000 who possibly are...
Yeah, so anyway, this is interesting, though, because what you have now is just a lot of things going on and the shakeup going on in City Hall, just in general. It's clearly Team Adams is on the ropes. So, they have to watch themselves and watch their phones and make sure that they don't text anyone they're not supposed to. I'm sure some of those apps they have on their phones have dating apps. Who knows, right? You got to just watch your phones at this point with them.
Yes, and let me do a correction. I believe that I said that Eric Ulrich had a real estate license. In fact, that does not appear to be the case. So I apologize.
I mean, the real estate world will mourn accordingly.
Yes. But anyway, let's get back on track with Tish James, the Attorney General, and possibly going against Andrew Cuomo. And so you have a situation here where, let's be perfectly honest, if Tish James does get involved, it's like check. Mm-hmm. Where you're playing chess.
Yes.
Check versus checkmate. And I must tell you, at this particular time, Cuomo is going out of his mind because everybody who had apparently given him the okay, like they would be on board with a Cuomo candidacy, has now told him, well, we got to freeze up. We got to see what Tish can do. The New York Times wrote a brilliant piece on her behalf. No doubt about it. They want her.
Oh, yeah, sounds like it.
They don't want Cuomo, and they have editorially, they want Eric Adams to resign now. But they refer to her as a moderate Democrat.
Yeah.
And as I wrote to the authors of the piece, it was a well-done piece, but they referred to her as a moderate Democrat. Tish James has never been a moderate Democrat. Never, ever, ever. She was a product of the Working Families Party when she first ran for office. Mm-hmm. And then also, she has been elected as a very liberal and progressive figure the entire rest of the way.
You know, this is interesting, too, because Cuomo's rep, I guess, in an attempt to try to make him look a little bit better, was lauding some of his accomplishments. And one of them that he called out was the 2nd Avenue subway line. Well, FYI, that's the most expensive line in the world of a subway, $2.5 billion per mile. So, yeah, I wouldn't be using that one at this point.
Well, it's interesting. There'll be like 2 scorpions in a brandy glass. We will keep you informed, as now we have Tish James, who has basically said to her nemesis, Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo's check. Let's see who ends up being checkmated.